Their job is to nurse and comfort others, but Leanne and James have both been assaulted by patients.
I was having a conversation with him. The conversation was absolutely normal. He's been pleasant all day, and then he just turned around and spat in my face. This was in the height of the COVID pandemic.
I was talking to a colleague and I suddenly felt a hand on my crotch area between my legs. To be a victim of that, for me just doing my job, for caring for people, is really difficult to process and justify.
Such attacks on medical staff are far from isolated, according to new 4-year data supplied by NHS hospital trusts. A Sky News Freedom of Information request was sent to 150 NHS trusts. 76 trusts responded and said they'd recorded 72,174 assaults. Half the trusts said they'd reported only 3,161 assaults to police. That's 8.6% of all their assaults. Of those trusts, 23 kept a record of police action in their cases. They had nearly 19,000 assaults. They referred 1,289 to police, and only 458 resulted in a police caution or a court hearing. The decision to report an assault isn't always straightforward. When the patient spat at James, he didn't tell police.
On that occasion, I didn't pursue any charges. The gentleman was at the end of his life and confused. It went through my head that I didn't want his wife to be contacted, after he died, maybe a week later, by the police, to be found out that was, the last memory of her husband.
The government told us it was working to protect NHS staff from violent patients and others and ensure quick and effective punishment.
It is shocking, and we're seeing increasing numbers now where NHS staff face abuse and aggression in the workplace. I think it's important to put into context, though, that sometimes these patients could be unwell, particularly with mental health problems. The BMA has actually called on the government to increase the penalty for common assault from 1 to 2 years for NHS staff and public sector workers, and we're waiting for them to act on that.
Is there a sense that some staff see assault as an occupational hazard?
Some people may say it's part of the job, but actually no, I don't believe it is. Any form of assault, verbal or violence and aggression, is not acceptable.
And it doesn't just affect hospital staff. A recent poll of UK family doctors revealed 3 out of 4 had faced a rise in verbal abuse or aggression during the coronavirus pandemic. Martin Brunt, Sky News, Bournemouth.